You're listening to Catholic Chicago. Ahead, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Thanks for letting us be part of your morning. Now again, Catholic Chicago.
Good morning, and welcome to Mission Matters Live, a program focused on promoting a spirit of mission among the people of God in the Archdiocese of Chicago. My name is Megan Mio. I'm director of the Global Mission Office. Our engineers this morning are Mike and Javier. You're listening to WNDZ 750 AM. This month, we broadcast the third Thursday of the month from 8:30 to 9 a.m. This month, we have with us Father Wilson Paulos, who is currently ministering at St. Peter Roman Catholic Church in Merchantville, New Jersey, in the Diocese of Camden. He is originally from the Diocese of Raigada in India, and he has served as the U.S. contact for his home diocese and made a number of mission appeals over the years all over the country. The Diocese of Raigada participated in our own Chicago mission appeals in 2020 during this pandemic, so they were virtual appeals. And I asked Father Wilson to share with us his personal experience of faith and trust in the midst of suffering, grief, and hope over this past year and a half. So good morning, Father Wilson, and welcome.
Good morning, Megan. Thank you for the invitation.
Yes, thank you very much for coming today virtually. And for those who are watching us on our video YouTube channel, we have Father Wilson here via our Microsoft Teams. As I mentioned in my introduction, Father Wilson, you're ministering in the Diocese of Camden in New Jersey. So please tell us how long you've served there in New Jersey. And what's it like?
Go
ahead.
Sorry.
Please.
I came to this beautiful country in the year 2005 on July 13th.
Okay.
And I was appointed at various parishes, helping the parish, as well as I was a chaplain for the hospitals for last 15 years. From last year onwards, I am here in this parish as associate. I am here in this diocese the last 16 years.
And hospital chaplain as well?
Yeah, now I am not a hospital chaplain.
Oh, okay.
I am a certified chaplain for the hospitals, but I was working under the Diocese of Camden. Wherever they sent me, whichever hospital, I did 15 years, and that was time for me to change because it was too much demanding. My health was not permitting me.
Yeah, right. 15 years, that's a long time. Yeah.
Yes, yet still I go whenever somebody calls for a help. I don't say no because I don't say that I am only an associate priest, but I go whenever they invite me.
Sure. Yeah, that's a skill. Hospital chaplaincy. And I can imagine it is very tiring. I mean, in the best sense, that you're emotionally present with all these people over the years. Over those 15 years, it can be very exhausting. So thank you for that ministry. So also, I mentioned you've been a mission appeal speaker on behalf of your home diocese for some of those years too, I would imagine. What's it like to be a mission appeal speaker?
It is, so to say, it is a bit of tough work in the sense that to come back to a country where we just appeal to our own brothers and sisters that to help out the mission.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a tough thing to go around and speaking about our diocese and situations we go through.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, we ask the help for the evangelization, proclaiming the word to various parts of the country. And this part of India is completely cut off from other parts because of the mountain and terrains and very proper roads. So we make use of this, whatever help we get from the mission appeal for the proclamation of the word, especially the evangelization. And we find that there is a drastic change in many, many, many souls coming to believe in Christ. And that makes us to continue.
Yeah.
And after 17 years of service in my diocese, I took an option because I wanted just a break. Then my previous bishop asked me to work for our diocese as a representative in the United States. That's why I said yes. And I had been doing from 2009 onwards, even before, but officially they appointed me 2009 onwards. I had been doing the U.S. representative for the Diocese of Rayagada.
Yeah, so, and it sounds like you share a really positive message in your mission appeals about like you say, the evangelization, the people coming to the church
Yes.
in Rayagada. And this is mostly a rural diocese then?
It's very, very rural. And there's no airport nearby. To travel to the airport, we have to travel by the jeep for 5 hours. Train service is there one end of our diocese. But all the missions are almost 70 to 80 miles distance each parish. And a parish, each parish, there may be one or two priests. They cover up reaching to the various villages. In a parish, there will be 50, 60 villages on various of a radius of 60 to 70 square miles. So the most of the priests, they go for a village tour. They cover up almost 6 to 10 days, and the pastor come back, then the associate continue the mission. Mostly that things have become a little different these days because of the communication and mass media and the road system. Otherwise, we are just caught up. But we don't feel bad because it's a pattern of our life.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's
Even
the
our
early church, right? That's the early church.
Yes.
You go from town to town and you check in with the community there and help it grow,
Yes.
help it expand.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard work. Not to say that that's not challenging, that there's a lot of travel involved and you're held up by the weather and all kinds of things that are out of your control as a minister. But it's God's work. Wow. So, I mean,
Yes.
I wanted to know more about this diocese too, for the sake of our listeners. Tell us.
You want me to? Yes.
Tell us about the people.
Yes. This Diocese of Rayagada was established just recently, that is May 28th, 2016. Before it was with the mother diocese of Berhampur. In fact, I was the diocesan priest of the Berhampur diocese. And when the diocese was divided, the tribal areas came one side, tribal districts, almost 6 to 8 districts we have got, the tribal districts. That one is made into Rayagada diocese. And the other part of it went with the mother diocese. Mother diocese is Diocese of Berhampur. And Pope appointed our first bishop, a young man, Apollinar Senapati, for the Congregation of the Mission, CM.
Oh.
And speaking about the Christianity over here, Christianity came very, very early stage of 17th century.
Okay.
And Christianity came in the earlier century, 17th century, mainly by the MSFS fathers, missionaries of St. Francis de Sales, sorry. And many of the missionaries died in the mission because of malaria, because of the wild animal, because of sickness and waterbound sickness and many other things. And it so happened that in 1922, they handed over the mission to the Congregation of the Mission. From the Spanish missionaries came from Europe, especially from Spain, and they started to evangelize this area. Along with them, there are so many missionaries from the southern part of India, a state where St. Thomas came, Kerala. From there, many of the missionaries came up to this part of the country.
Right.
And even I am from Kerala. We came up to northern part. We had our training. We were ordained priests, and we continued the mission as the number of Spanish missionaries start to become less and less. At present, we have got only one Spanish nun alive in our mission. Rest all are Indians, mainly from south, as well as the local vocation. We have got a lot of local vocation.
Wow.
This area has got 6 civil districts. Population is that almost It is 1,044,000 or I don't know, 2 millions or 3 millions of people. And we have got the Catholics. Just the recent accounting we made, the statistics we made, 65,780 people are Catholics.
Okay.
We have got 24 parishes, 200 mission stations. We have got 32 diocesan priests, and we have got almost 23 congregation priests and 137 nuns working in belonging to different congregations. And we have got 83 seminarians. That's one of the area we put more trust because we get a lot of vocation. We are not able to take everybody, so we try to send them outside our diocese to join different congregations and things. And every year in our diocese, there is 1 or 2 ordinations. So there is a positive thing. Besides it, we have got almost 428 men who are full-time catechists. They go to village, which are understood.
Yeah.
So that is a setup of our diocese.
Wow. Well, I want to comment on, you said vocations, and that
Yes.
I know I've heard this from other dioceses before, that they'll say, they have the problem of too many vocations and not enough space in their seminary, or not enough funding to be able to educate that many. And as you said,
Yes.
some of those young men might go on to religious vocations, right?
Even that is a struggle we go through.
Yeah.
Even what I earn, almost half of it, it goes to the diocese for the maintenance of the seminarians and the priest. And you know that we don't have a salary like as we work in India. We get just a hand-to-mouth support.
Right.
But we are not unhappy. We are happy.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
and we know that the priest and nuns will never go hungry. So each parish, we maintain our own backyard gardens, poultry, cowshed, and we have got education is one of the important things. So we bring the children from the villages and stay with the male children will stay with the priests, and they got a hostel, and the girls, they stay with the nuns. That's the only way we could bring up the education.
Yeah.
And great people for the future. Well, education changes.
Well, that was my other thought, the idea of there being vocations as catechists, vocations as priests, as religious women and men, that this is a gift back to the church. Obviously, it's important that the diocese be able to be self-sustaining, but in addition, to be able to send people out. That's the goal of every mission diocese, to then also be ascending, not just a receiving, but ascending diocese. Before our break, I also just want to ask you, it's December here, it's the Advent season, we're preparing for Christmas. I'd like to hear about what the people in this home diocese of yours, what they would be doing this time of year.
This time of the year is a lot of expectation. People clean their village. They'll make one crib in their village, in each village. So the people, one thing is that this is a season they go around dancing. That is one way of evangelization. Dancing is part of their culture. So every evening comes 2 or 3 villages come together to a particular new village or new area, and they dance and sing. And in between, some of the catechists will give a short talk for 3 minutes, and again they dance. So some of the villages are invited to dance with them. So that is an opening for them to enter into the mainstream like us. And that's the way we are invited back. Why don't you come to our village? Why don't you come and talk to us? So that is one of the things which goes on. And in every we keep that abstinence from meat and fish. First of all, that meat is available. Rather, the people kill in their own villages, the animals. But fish is not that available because it's on the mountains. So people abstain from that. And they prepare themselves and other ways that each village is prepared, and they have one Christmas mass before the Christmas, because priests can't cover up 60 to 70 villages and have their celebration.
Right.
So they go around, priests go around here in the confession, doing some of the baptisms at that time, and we also have a celebration of something of Christmas, the reading and things like that, because otherwise they have no chance. A priest celebrating a mass and things like that.
Right.
And one of the things we do it, most of these celebrations are at night, because there is a strong opposition from the government, and that we are evangelizing and things. The government is behind us, where we go around during the day. So most of the priests travel in the evening hours.
Yeah.
They try to walk 3 or 4 hours, or they ride a bike half the way, and they walk up to the mountain and reach the village. And nobody knows. So nighttime, nobody to come to disturb. So the church in this mission is active at night, except in the towns and things like that. The main church is active during the day.
Sure. Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, thank you for mentioning that too, because I've heard that from others as well. In India in particular, things are getting more challenging for the purposes of evangelization. It's time for our break now, but we'll be right back to continue talking about hope and trust in mission. Stay tuned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
As you think about year-end contributions, we at Catholic Charities thank you for considering a donation. 100% of every donation goes directly to our charitable work. Every donation allows us to continue to offer programs and services that affirm, strengthen, and empower those we serve as they work toward becoming self-sufficient. We are financially independent from the Archdiocese of Chicago, and we are proud of our Platinum Guide Star rating as a nonprofit. For more than 100 years, Catholic Charities has been helping homeless, hungry, and troubled neighbors in Cook and Lake counties. We would be honored to have your support in our 2021 year-end appeal. Visit CatholicCharities.net to donate or call 312-948-6087. The number again is 312-948-6087. Thank you for being partners with us in the mission of Catholic Charities.
I feel special. I feel great. I got good grades.
We've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before.
At Catholic Charities, we fight hunger in Chicago throughout the year. Our 6 regional offices in Cook and Lake counties work together to offer sit-down and to-go meals to anyone in need. We deliver meals to those who are homebound, and our 8 food pantries offer 3 to 4 days of food supplies based on household size. Participants in these programs have the opportunity to learn about other Catholic charity services that strengthen individuals, families, and their communities. The challenges for those dealing with food insecurity are especially great during the winter months. To learn how you can help those who are hungry in your neighborhood, visit CatholicCharities.net or call 312-655-7525. That's 312-655-7525. Thank you for your generosity.
And welcome back to Mission Matters Live. I am Megan Mio, Director of the Global Mission Office. I'm here with Father Wilson Paulos, currently a pastoral minister at St. Peter Church in Merchantville, New Jersey, but he is originally from the Diocese of Raigada in the eastern region of India. Now, before the break, we were just getting to know you, Father Wilson, and your work as a mission appeal speaker on behalf of your home diocese in India. And just thinking about all these years of experience that you had ministering here in the U.S. and then ministering in this tribal region of India, as you said, in the mountains, it reminds me of the phone conversation we had last year in 2020. As I mentioned, you were on our mission appeals last year. We had to hold them virtually, but you and I spoke during that time, and you shared that you yourself last year were infected with COVID, and
Yes.
it was quite a journey of recovery and a spiritual journey, a physical health journey, and in my opinion, having heard you talk about it, it's a journey of hope and trust. And so I was wondering if you would be willing to share with us your story of recovery, please.
Yes. We all know that the COVID-19 has done a lot of harm to many people.
Yeah.
We lost our dear ones. And back in India, almost 291 priests, 5 bishops, about 267 nuns. These are in the religious circle. We have a few brothers, 5 or 6 brothers, seminarians. We lost so many people. And our neighboring diocese, some of my companions, we lost. And I was infected with this sickness on December 27th. And I was not knowing, and I came to 29th. And on 3rd of January, I was out of oxygen. I was coming down gradually from 90 to 85, 80, 60, 62, 60, 62, like that was remaining. I could not breathe, and I knew that I'm just dying. I shouted, and my pastor came and called 911 and dragged me down to the second floor to first floor. They came, took me, that much only I remembered, and I was unconscious almost for almost 1.5 days like that.
Wow.
And they did the medicine, what they injected to our ex-president Trump. I don't know the name of the medicine, either remdesivir or something.
Right.
So they did that one. So, but I knew that it was a big tragic situation. I knew that I am dying. I made my last prayers. I held my hands closed, and I knew that it's a time I'm saying goodbye. Then I asked the Lord bless me, and I gave up everything. I did not know anybody around me. I was just going to a deep abyss I was falling to. And after some time that I started to fly like a piece of paper and seeing beautiful flowers and birds and everything. And then when I woke up, it was on the second day because the medicine worked and they were very happy. They did not put me in ventilator. And I remained in the hospital almost 10 days. One thing I want to tell you that it is my second life. It is my second life, and I'm ever grateful to God, especially during this year, for making me alive. He has got some more plan to be carried out through me, and I am grateful to God, and I will be at the service of my diocese to the people here and back in India and for God. So it was a tough situation. We lose our hope. We know everything is helpless. And people go through this tragedy, go through this situation. It's horrible. Unless and until we go through, only we can understand the feeling of many people who are infected. I counsel even now some of the people who are with a sickness. I call them by phone and I speak to them. And the only thing, my pastor was very, very positive, and he was encouraging, Wilson, take courage. Nothing is going to happen. Many people are praying, and I am praying for you. Nothing. He was coming to my room and he was making me to get up. He was feeding me breakfast. I find that encourage the people. Don't speak ill about that fellow died, this person died. But instead of that one, you are going to live. And we are there with prayers, and you will live. Nothing is going to happen to you without God's knowledge. That is a positive message we have to give to people.
Yeah.
And I found that this helped me a lot, and I am today alive. And I am giving you the radio report, and it was a great privilege. This is for the first time. Thank you, Megan, for inviting me for this program. Anything more?
Yes. Let me just say, from my perspective, because I heard you tell this story before, and at the time we had talked about it initially. You had said, I promise I'd be happy to share my story on your radio program. Well, then some time passed. We both got busy with other things, and you had your own things going on, and we reconnected again not too long ago, and you had said, I promised I would do it, Megan. I really got to do it. And I said, we can do this. It's not too late. And I think that's also a big piece of hope and trust too. Things don't always happen the way that we expected them to. And even for those who have lost someone in the course of COVID, and as you mentioned, the country of India has had a great loss. And it's not the only country that has suffered terribly, but this year in particular in India was devastating. But in the United States too, last year and this year, that those of us who are still here, that we can, things didn't happen the way we thought they would, but we can be present to one another. Like you said, pray for one another, be present as much as possible. And take every precaution that we can to protect one another, but to know that God is active in all of it. And for those of us who were lucky enough to recover, to not take that lightly and really believe that God has given you that second life. You're still here for a reason. There's still work to be done. And so we're so grateful that you were able to recover, and the hope that you have is just, it's inspired me, so I wanted to share it with everyone else. How much this year just has changed all of us, but hopefully for the better.
Yes.
Now we only have 2 minutes left, so I want to ask you my final question. So it's the seasons of Advent and Christmas, as I mentioned, that we're entering into. What do these seasons mean to you, and how they might connect with this idea of hope and trust?
I believe that our life is short and time is fast.
Yeah.
No replay, no rewind. So enjoy every moment what God has given by ourselves and for others. Yeah. And wish good to others, and good things will come back to us. And difficulties in our life do not come to destroy us, but to help us to realize our potential power. And God has got his plan.
Yeah.
And this is a season of Advent and Christmas. It is a time to just reevaluate the blessings we received during this year. Much more than the sad events. Often we focus on the painful events, sad events, loss. In fact, I lost my sister on October 2nd this year. I could not go. But still then, I could not take for first 1 week, but gradually I start to realize we all have to go. She finished her duty on this earth, and she has gone back.
We all have our
and
time.
I should look at the life as something very positive, and that is what I am looking to. And if you are helping someone, expecting nothing in return, and you are doing business or not kindness, if you are expecting something, but do it without any reward. I know that I always look at the pioneering missionaries and how much they suffered. And I may be a speck off in the mission in my diocese. Now I am here. Wherever I am, that is my mission. I don't think that India has to be there. So we all are supposed to bring joy and happiness to people's life, bringing God's presence by our speak, by our action, and by our affinity. That's all. And I wish all the best. Happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you,
and
Paulos.
Also, especially, I would like to thank the Chicago Diocese. You help us in many ways. You are given some mission help through the subsidy for the mass stipends. And we know that in India, we don't get anybody to. So
Father Wilson, we're out of time. So I'm afraid I have to cut you off.
So various ways you have helped us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for joining us,
Thank
Father
you.
Wilson. I wish everyone a blessed Advent and Christmas. I'll ask you to tune in next month for more Mission Matters Live. Thank you for listening. And remember, always be on mission.